Hey family, welcome back. MarshaunO out here, your favorite life and relationship strategist, and we are here to talk today about ways to positively stroke your partner's ego. Lately, I've been having 5 tips. Today is no different. I don't know where all of this just 5 is coming from, but it doesn't matter. You guys want the information. This is why you're here. So thank you so much for coming back and taking in the information, and hopefully you are applying the things that you are learning here. Actually, today's question of the day is to go down in the comment section below and then let me know what you have been taking from the content, especially since you have been quarantined, or at least most of you have been quarantined. What have you been taking from the content lately? Let me know down in the comment section below so we can continue the conversation, because you guys know that this is a dialogue. It is not a monologue. Now, before I go into the 5 tips, I want to ask you guys and tell you guys and even invite you guys to my Facebook groups, because this is going to be a way for you to get in contact with me more directly, to send me Facebook messages, to ask me questions, also to join in the conversation with the other people that are already there. And it really just depends on where you're at on the dating spectrum. So if you're someone that is single, you're not dating anyone, or if you are just dating someone, you guys are just trying to get to know each other, establish if you actually like this person, then the Facebook group that I have for you is called Dating to Marriage. So check that one out. Ask to be invited, answer the questions, and then I'll let you right on in so you can join the conversation. And then if you are engaged, or you're in a long-term relationship, or if you are married, then I have one for you specifically, which is called Relationship Bootcamp 101. Again, answer the questions, you'll be invited in. For both groups, I post twice daily. I ask some questions. Other people post things, put them in there just to join the conversation so we can all get better at showing up in our relationships and being better people first, and then becoming better partners, wives, and husbands second. Now, we're going to start with the 5 ways to positively stroke your partner's ego. There's 5 ways to stroke your partner's ego. Now, a lot of times when we think about ego, we think of the negative part of ego, of the person's ego. But here's the thing. Your ego does not always have to be a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing when you focus solely on yourself. When you do the edging God out, which is EGO, edging God out. When you do that and you make it all about you and self-centeredness, and nobody else's opinion matters, nobody else's feelings matter, that's when your ego becomes bad. But your ego can actually help you get to next levels in life. So your ego can actually help you propel further in life a lot faster as well, because nobody can stop you. You are the man, you are the woman, you know how to get stuff done. So there are good things about your ego. Now, the very first way I should say on how to positively stroke your partner's or your spouse's ego is to appreciate him or her. And that is actively showing your spouse or partner what appreciation is and how much you appreciate him or her, such as doing some of the chores, especially the chores that you know he or she hates to do, right? Just go ahead and do it. Or maybe you want to show your appreciation to say that you're doing a great job, or thank you for being you, thank you for loving me. And so you decide to plan out the day or the date. You decide to put in some time, energy, and effort to make your partner feel special, because that's how you're showing that you appreciate him or her. So you're planning out the date or the evening. And then another way that you can actually appreciate your spouse, another way that you can positively stroke his or her ego, is to remember important dates or events that are going to happen, and then ask him or her about those things. How are things going? How is it coming along? Do they need some help? Do they just need a listening ear? Are they having any issues about anything, right? So you're showing up, you're being present, you're making sure that your partner knows that you do appreciate him or her, but then also that you actually listen when they are speaking, when they are telling you something, that is very important to him or to her, that you have actually listened what they have to say. So appreciation is number one. Number two is admiration. Yes, admiration, which is the way that you admire your spouse is kind of the look that you give to him or her when they come into the room, or when you just see them and then you're just staring at them in a very loving, very appreciative, very just, wow, that's my baby type of way. So another way that you can admire your partner is to verbalize how much you like the way he or she dresses, their appearance, how they're actually showing up into the world with you, right? And then also to the world, because we're not always around our partner or spouses. Another thing, or another way that you can say that you admire him or her, is to acknowledge their skill sets, because you could be great in something, right? And your partner can suck at something. But the flip side of that is that you can also suck at something or several things, and your partner can be really great at that thing. So you want to acknowledge the fact that your partner or spouse is great at specific things. So acknowledging his or her skill sets will really let them know how much you admire him or her. And then another thing that you can do is to admire their dance moves, something that can be very minuscule but also just fun, where it's like, wow, baby, you really can do insert whatever dance move it is, right? So just admiring who he or she is, their skill sets, their dance moves, their the way that they dress, the way that they carry themselves, their appearance, etc. You are showing admiration. So how to positively stroke your partner's ego. So first we had appreciation, secondly we have admiration, and then the third thing is to praise your partner or your spouse, to let them know how smart they are, how beautiful he or she is, how clever they are, how talented they are, how sexy they are. Like, all of those things matter. And do not be one of those people that just say, well, they should already know. No, we need to hear. Listen, McFly. Y'all remember that? McFly. I'm dating myself. But listen, if you don't know what that is, ask somebody. They'll tell you. Listen, do not fall into that trap that your spouse is just supposed to know. You need to hear it. Guess what? So does he or she. And it does not matter the sex. Men want to hear it just as much as women. So do not get it twisted. They might not flaunt and be like, like we women do, like, and all of that. They might not do all of that, but they still want to hear it, and they love hearing it from you as their partner or their spouse. So do not get that twisted. Praise your partner, praise your spouse. So we have appreciation, we have admiration, we have praise, and now we're going to number 4, which is affection. Some people, men and women, have issues with verbalizing, with actively showing their spouse or partner the affection. You need to do that. Touch. I actually talked about touch not too long ago, where we as infants, and each and every one of us was an infant at one time, we as infants actually could have died, literally died, if we did not get touched, held, loved on, snuggled with from our parent or guardian, or whomever you grew up with. You literally could have died because we need to be touched. We need that affection. So show the affection. Another way to show affection is literally just laughing and joking with your spouse or with your partner. Another way to show affection is to remember the good memories that you two have shared together, and then laugh and joke and reminisce together about those good memories. And then another thing that you can actually do to show affection, of course, is all of the other touch, feel, cuddle, kiss, hold hands, hugs, and all of that other stuff. So you can incorporate all of that stuff for affection. Affection does not necessarily mean it's going to lead to sex. So keep that in mind. You're doing this because you want your partner or spouse to know how much you are really into him or into her, even if the sex wasn't there, at least for a period of time. Because let's be real, you are not having sex as much as you want to have sex with your spouse or partner, especially if children are there, and especially if you have demanding careers. It's not sexy, but you probably need to plan to get that sex in, but that's a different video, but keep it in mind. So the affectionate portion of it is even more important, at least at times, than the sexual portion of it is. So just be aware that affection needs to be put in there. So those are 4 ways to positively stroke your partner's ego: appreciation, admiration, affection, praise. And now we're going to move on to loving endearments. These are the verbalizations. Is that a word? I'm going to say it is. These are the verbalizations that you're actually doing, saying, like speaking them. I love you. You are the only one for me. It's only me and you. Like loving endearments. Again, the look that you can give your partner or spouse just to let them know that it's you and him, or him and her, whatever. So the loving endearments, the loving endearments are the most important out of this list of 5, because it actually expresses your commitment to your partner, to your spouse, and the commitment only between you two. So you're saying all of these sweet nothings or sweet endearing terms. You're not saying them to just anybody. So this shows the level of commitment that you have to your partner, to your spouse. And then again, you're only saying these words to him or to her, not to every woman, not to every man, not to every person in general. So with that being said, these are the 5 ways to positively stroke your partner's ego. Are you doing any of the above? If not, you need to jump on in the race. Jump on in the race. You need to, as soon as possible, because you want your partner, you want your spouse to know how much you actually love him or her, and how you're actually showing up in the relationship. And when you do these things, guess what? He or she will do them as well. So even if you're the only one that's doing them right now, you will not be the only one that's continuously doing them, because whenever you're doing something for somebody, have you ever noticed that you feel obligated to return the favor, whether or not it's ever asked of you? That is the exact same thing when you start to do all of these positive things in your relationship. Even if your partner is the one that is a bit tougher, a bit rougher, they don't express their feelings as much. But when you start to express, when you stop waiting, when you make the first step, then your partner and spouse will do the exact same thing. Will it be all the time reciprocated right then and there? No, because usually that person is not used to this type of affection, right? So it'll gradually build up, and then all of a sudden you'll notice that he or she I can't talk. He or she is saying the same type of things that you are saying, even if it starts off as being just a chore to him or to her. Eventually you'll notice that it'll be less robotic and more, wow, I just really, really love you. I'm so happy to be a part of this with you. They'll even get more emotional with you. Like, there are so many things that's going to come into play once you stop waiting on him or her to actually do these things first, or even to reciprocate it, or you're doing it and now all of a sudden now I'm gonna hold all of my love back because you're not doing it. If you're in a relationship and you're waiting for your partner or spouse to do these things first, or to even reciprocate them in your time frame, you will lose. So don't wait. Do these things. Get them out there. Positively stroke your partner's ego as much as possible, and guess what? It will get reciprocated. It will. Let me know which one of these you have done, which one of these that you need to improve on, down in the comment section below. I love you guys, and there is nothing that you can do about it. I will see you guys very, very soon. All right, now, bye.